The next step is sieving. After some days, this process can be done using different equipment, the wooden sieve or sieve. If you want your garri to come out smoother and finer, then you use the wooden sieve. But if you want it to have lumps like some people do, then you use the plastic sieve because it has larger pores that allows more fiber to get into your garri while sieving. So basically, the divided and pressed cassava is sieved to remove large fiber materials. Not that the fiber is harmful, but so the garri can come out finer and smoother. So this is me sieving my own garri. You want to make sure that you're properly dressed, like make sure that your hair is covered to avoid strands of hair into your garri. It can be very unpleasant, especially if you're going to be selling your garri. You don't want your customers to complain of having any form of sand or hair in the garri they bought from you. It can be very bad for business. You also want to be sure that you're properly dressed in order to take a more comfortable position while doing this, because trust me, it's not a lazy man's job. You also want to be taking it in small quantity, because if you jam pack the sieve with so much, it will take a longer time and then add unnecessary pressure to the sieve, and this can make it spoil faster. So this is what is left. This particular one now is the chaff or the fiber. So this is the one I've already sieved. So beautiful. So I did this one and I love it. I just love the way it's looking. The next thing after sieving is to transfer it into a bucket or a bowl, depending on what you have available. This makes it easier to convey to the place where it's going to be fried. The good thing about cassava tuber is that nothing in it is wasted. The bark that is peeled off can be used to feed animals such as goats, pigs, and the rest of them. So people who rear these animals actually buy the bark of cassava to feed their animals. But as for me, I just gave mine out to a neighbor who has a poultry. I mean, what are neighbors for, right? So you can decide to sell out yours or give them out, whichever one works best for you. The fiber or the chaff from the sieved one can be used to make aribo. Something called aribo is a kind of food. So all you need to do is to sort it out like this, just in case there is any dirt or anything like that you wouldn't be needing in it. So you just sort it out like this and then sun dry it, after which you then grind. It is usually ground into powdered form, but if you have the intention of adding something like maize, rice, or any of those things to it, you can then go ahead and add them before grinding, and then prepare it like semovita or wheat to be taken with any kind of soup when you wish to. So like I said earlier, nothing in cassava is wasted, and that is so interesting. The next step is frying. This process requires a flat metal pan, usually known as eku, over a medium heat. For this particular factory, the firewood used is portioned according to different prices, like this. So inside a pan, which is already placed over heat, medium heat, it has to be medium so that the garri will not burn. You then pour in the garri that is already sieved and then stir continually to prevent burning and ensures that it dries evenly, so that one side will not dry while the other side is dry. This particular process is very important because it is this process that determines whether or not your garri will be crispy in texture or not. So there's so much attention paid to this particular process. because if you allow it to burn, it will turn out black. That's why when you buy some garri, you'll be seeing some black spot in it. Some people think it's dirt. It's not actually dirt. It's as a result of the garri being burnt while frying. Some people prefer to use the long stick to fry, while others prefer the short one, just like this. Also, the garri is fried bit by bit. Like, you don't just pour a huge sum of garri into the pan. You do it bit by bit by bit. This process of making garri actually has a lot of patience with it. But if you are focused, before you know it, you are done. It is also very important to make sure that you have your empty bowl already available, so that as you are done frying a particular batch, because it's done batch by batch, if you're done frying a particular batch, it will be easy for you to pour it into the bowl or a bag placed on the floor, depending on which one you want to use, just like this. So you won't have to start running around to get something that you use and pour the one that you have finished frying, because that can make the one you've already fried to burn while you're at it. So you get everything you'll be needing ready before frying. Frying garri is not just for women alone. As you can see, here is a very handsome young man frying garri. He's actually using his left hand to do this. Well done, sir. So the next step is cooling. After frying, you allow the garri to cool before packaging. If the garri is not allowed to cool first of all before you package, it will make the garri not to last long. So the next step is packaging, and there are different types of packages. Some people prefer to package theirs in bags and keep, while others prefer to carry theirs in bowl. When you get home, they'll be able to spread it and allow it to cool, while some prefer to leave it there in the factory to cool down before they take it to wherever they are conveying it to. After cooling, it is then packaged in bags or containers, like I said earlier, for storage or for sale. So darlings, this is the step-by-step process of making the garri you see everywhere, the one that you buy and eat. And it's actually an interesting one. I learned a lot while doing it. Garri can be used as snacks. It can be eaten raw by soaking in water, sugar, milk, granules, depending on how you prefer to take yours. It can also be used as fufu or a bar, like some people call it. You mix with hot water to form a dough-like consistency, which is commonly eaten with soups like egusi, okra, vegetable soup. It can also be taken with beans, moi moi, oba, and lots more. Thank you so much for staying tuned to the end of this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, so that I'll be able to get more videos across to you. Thank you, and see you in my next video.